Welcome back, Sideline View Podcast, Bench Nation. What is up? We're back. It's been a while, but we're here, and we've got a summer episode coming at you. A lot of stuff to get into today, Dane.
Yes.
And I think there's just like honestly, I was talking about this yesterday with some of the people that I hang out with.
Right.
The summertime's a great time for Sideline View because there's so little things happening in all of these leagues that, we have to talk about the backups. They have to cover the backups.
Absolutely. It's their time to shine. It's their time to shine.
And in particular...
And we got free agency, too, so everybody's moving around, too. Backups getting paid.
Exactly. And to kind of jump right in, I think the first thing I want to talk about off the bat is the NBA Summer League.
Ooh, I love Summer League. I was so sad when Summer League ended. My Lakers made it to the playoffs, lost to the Warriors. Unfortunate. Only team to go 4-0. So,
and the Warriors are the team I want to talk about right off rip because Yaxel Lendeboer has been. Awesome. Am I saying it right?
I think you are. Yes. I think it's Yaxel Lendenberg.
Balling in the Summer League, averaged 15 points, 7 boards, 4 dimes through 6 games. On his way to leading the Warriors to win the Summer League championship and to being named Summer League championship MVP.
And absolutely deserved, in my opinion. I mean, this Warrior squad, for a team like the Warriors that's so old and that, outside of Steph and Dre and I guess, Jimmy Butler, but he only has one working leg right now. So, this is an old core. This is a team that's not going to be around for a lot longer. So being able to have a summer team that can win it all means that you have a lot of reserves you can move up. There is hope. There is hope for this Warriors team.
Yeah, and I think winning the Summer League championship, it's not just Yaxel, and I think it does show, the depth of this Warriors roster, like you were saying. And even when you talk about, they are a very top-heavy roster in terms of, a lot of their guys are older at the top, but they do still have some of those younger guys on their roster kind of coming off the bench right now, Brandon Pajemski,
Pods, dude, Pods. Yeah. The Pythagorean theorem,
B-Pod's NBA 2K legend, Brandon Pajemski.
True. That is true. That's where he shines.
Always leading the league in field goal percentage.
Yes. No, I like Pods. I mean, obviously, as funny as it is to make fun of him, he's not a bad developmental piece, and he's getting better and better every year. He finally dropped 30.
I was just gonna say that. And even outside of him, we have guys that we've talked about on this podcast before. Gui Santos. There's probably more.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Other players on the Warriors that got big paydays.
Kristaps Porzingis is good on the Warriors.
KP got paid,
and he's still younger, or not crazy young, but he's still got some good years in the tank.
They had a center, I think, who also got paid. Can't remember his name, unfortunately, but he was a restricted guy. I think Memphis sent him an offer sheet, but the Warriors matched it, so he's back with Golden State.
Okay.
But
and then on the other side of that Summer League championship, the Memphis Grizzlies, shout out Tennessee. It's where I am right now, recording from the big TN. The Grizzlies have had a couple of young guys really show out in the Summer League. The guy everyone was kind of expecting to be really good, Cameron Boozer, obviously, comes out great through the Summer League, averaging, I don't have the averages up, but I think he was averaging almost 20 points a game and adding on some rebounds and assists, which is what you love to see out of a young guy.
No, I really like this Grizzlies team. I really like Cam Boozer. I think him and Cedric Howard. Cedric Howard, definitely a great rookie. So I think that there's hope in Memphis. Maybe the team won't leave, but if they leave, they'd go to Nashville. That wouldn't be too bad.
That'd be closer to where I live.
Right. But no, I think you have Zach Edey. You have you got rid of the big three of Bane, Morant, and Triple J. So now you're moving on, and I think that Cam Boozer is really gonna be the next guy in Memphis for sure. This confirms it.
Yeah, but you did mention Cedric Howard, and Cedric Howard was actually who I wanted to talk about because he, was solid in his rookie season. He had over 10 points a game in his averages, and that was kind of the most notable thing he did. But in the summer league, he kept pace with Cam Boozer in terms of the averages. And in that championship game, he shot 5 of 5 from beyond the arc with an additional 6 boards and 4 assists and only 1 turnover on all of that. And I will say,
Yeah.
for everything that Cam Boozer did, he was turning the ball over. Not like all the time, but he had, I think, a solid 4 to 5 turnovers in that championship game.
Yeah, I mean, he's great, and obviously you're not going to see shooting that perfect all the time, but I mean,
Yeah.
it's great. It's great to see.
But yeah, bright future for this Grizzlies team. You know, maybe not immediately this year, but I think they are a team that is doing a great job to really tear down and rebuild. Like, they understood what needed to happen in order for them to be like a successful franchise again.
Yeah, and you'll have to see a rebuild that actually has some kind of direction, because a lot of teams have been in like rebuilding hell, like the Wizards. Although we're gonna talk about them later. They're starting to take some steps, but like the Nets are in rebuilding hell. There's no direction there. There's no future.
The Kings, they're kind of in rebuilding hell. They're just old.
Yeah, the Kings. I mean, they were in like mid hell too. Now they finally committed to the tank.
Yeah.
Now it's all. Ooh. But yeah,
they were hitting the
moving
Pittsburgh Steelers special where they were just really okay
9-8
at one time.
Right. They had one good year, the Light the Beam Kings, and then after that.
Yeah, and that's all I have for summer league. Those were my like big two. I didn't go super in depth, but I don't know if you pulled anything else, Dane.
So 2 standouts. I tried to watch as much of the Lakers summer league as I could because big Lakers fan. I really liked obviously the first round draft pick they took, Cameron Carr. He was awesome, and he looked NBA ready, I'd say almost. And you also had a dude throwing down like highlight dunks, great defensive plays, just 2 insane athletes for a team that really needs athletes. I think that's a great improvement. And then also I wanted to talk about Caleb Wilson off the Bulls. He was really good too. He was a really fun player to watch. And while the Bulls in Summer League itself did not do too awesome, sorry, hold on, I'm pulling up his stats here because, he was incredible. 35 points, 19 points, 19 points, 21 points with like 8 rebounds a game.
Wow.
The Bulls may have found their guy. I was a little unsure of how that top 4 order would go in the draft, but I think the Bulls are in a great spot with Caleb Wilson. And you also have Mr. Empty Triple-Double Josh Giddey. You also have Matas Buzelas. And I think that, as much as I make fun of Josh Giddey, I like him a lot. And I think that this core, maybe the tank will start climbing back up.
Yeah, they did what you need to do when you're going to be bad. They committed. They sold all their guys. We talked about this last year. They were running like an all-guard lineup almost.
Only guards. Nobody else.
At points, it was so weird. But,
Nick Claxton,
doing that
him too.
Set them up to get number 4 in the draft, to get, to go out there and get their guy. And now they can rebuild around him and Josh Giddey and the pieces that they have. And it's like you have your superstars. Now you just need to get some solid players to fill out the roster.
Right. I got a question for you, Toby. Do you think the tank is dead? Because they added, I don't know if you've heard about the new rules for tanking, but you now get punished. If you're in that bottom 3, you get punished. So that might be the little push that these tanking teams needed to be like, wait, we got to lock in, because you got like the Bulls. They're not bad. They got talent with Nick Claxton. If you look at like the Bucks, Tyler Hero, they didn't just trade Giannis for picks. They traded him for a lot of young players. So everybody's trying to fight to be the 4 seed right now. That's the goal.
What's the punishment for being in that bottom 1 through 3?
So it's like a 3-2-1 system for the picks. So like you get 3 lottery balls if you're in the, I think, 4 through 9 range seed. Or sorry, not 4 through 9 seed. Like the 4th worst team to the 9th worst team. I might be wrong here. But like that middle range, right? And then the bottom 3 teams only get 2 ping pong balls. And then the teams that lose in the play and get 1 ping pong ball.
Okay.
So it is possible that a team like, say, the Clippers, God forbid, gets the first pick in the draft because of these lottery rules. Or at least jumps up super high.
I think it really doesn't make it less of a tank off, because I think it really just means we're going to see more of what the Bulls did this last season, where you go out and try to contend for the first half of the season no matter what. And then, if you're in like a play-in spot, you're kind of okay selling everything because it's not like, oh man, it's too late to tank to get down to number one. Now you just
Yeah.
need to get to number. I mean, that would have been perfect for a team like the Bulls this year and their tank, because that sets them up even better to get maybe the number one pick. And so I don't think we're going to see tanking die, but I do think it's going to make it a little bit more strategical. And I think that's good because as much as like tanking isn't the most fun thing to watch, I think it is an
Right.
important element of the game. It's like sometimes
Yeah,
you two just need
unfortunately,
to be
the
bad.
right, because you don't get better without getting a little bit worse.
Yeah.
So hopefully this breaks up the mid and the tanking a little more. I think it's a good change. I like it personally, but I want
I
to see
think
how it
it'll be
plays out.
interesting to see how it plays out.
Yeah.
Because the question with these is always, it's not like it does it work in theory. It's, is there a way that it's going to be exploited? And that's like
Yeah.
what every GM in the NBA should be doing right now, is sitting around saying, is there a way I can exploit this new rule? And
Right.
the answer is probably yes, somehow. Like someone's going to figure it out.
Yeah,
But it
no,
just might not
absolutely.
be immediate.
Yeah. So moving on, we got to talk about this year's Sixth Man of the Year, Keldon Johnson, Finals runner-up. I mean, he was great. I think he deserved the award. I don't think there's anybody. The only other players who I could think who could really contend for that Sixth Man of the Year spot is like maybe AJ Mitchell off the Thunder, but we'll talk about him in a little bit. But no, so to keep the spotlight on Keldon, I mean, he shot well. He gave the Spurs what they needed. I think that's totally deserved the award.
Yeah, and I think the most notable thing is he played in 82 games, not including
Yes.
the playoffs. So he was healthy like
Iron
all
Man.
season, and it really is that old thing: the best ability is availability. And
Yeah.
it's corny, but there's a reason that it's a saying. There's a reason we say it. He was out there contributing. He averaged 13 points, 5 rebounds, and an assist on 23 minutes a game. You have a guy. If everyone on your bench is putting up 10 points, you're going to dominate most teams.
Oh, absolutely.
So that's exactly the type of play that you love to see. It's not like earth-shattering numbers because it's not going to be coming off the bench, but it was exactly what the Spurs needed to be able to keep winning these games. And we saw it translate in how well they played in every minute of games. Like, they were not a team where you talk about the Spurs and we were like, I think they're good, but I think they're really top heavy. Like, we were talking about them as a deep championship contender from the start of the season. And the play of guys like Keldon Johnson and Dylan Harper is exactly the reason why.
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, I think the Spurs, if you look at the teams that do really well, the two big guys in the East, Spurs, Thunder, what do they have better than anybody else? The bench. Their bench is easily the best. I think the Spurs bench is now the best in the NBA. Because you got Dylan Harper still. Let's talk about him. You got Keldon Johnson, Julian Champagnie, Luke Cornett. These are all great bench players you can throw in. On almost any other team, these guys would be starters. I mean,
Yeah.
you got to look at that. Same with the Thunder. I mean, they traded a lot of their guys, but they still have like this great bench. AJ Mitchell, and I think Kason Wallace is gonna start now. But you also have like Amara, all these people, Topic.
Still have Jared McCain.
I forgot about Jared McCain. I mean, how can I forget about him? You got just so many great players, and depth is building championships. We're not in that like you need 3 stars. The big 3 era is more than dead. And now you see the teams who is winning. The Celtics, great bench. The Thunder, great bench. The Knicks, friendship. But I don't know if I'd go as far as say great bench, but they had solid bench contributions. They didn't just have 3 guys. They had a solid rounded out team. And I think that's going to be the future. If I'm a GM, I'm not building, I got to get Giannis, Shea, Luka, Jokic all on the same team. No, that's not how you win because of the new cap rules. You can't just buy your way to a championship. You have to build bench. And bench players, they make less money too. The way you win a championship now, especially, get players to do more than what they're paid for. And that's how you win.
And I think the other thing is, I mean, you talk about the Thunder. The Spurs might have a better bench than them right now, but the Thunder have just so many draft picks. They're loaded on draft picks.
Right. Absolutely.
I mean, if I'm an NBA GM right now and the Thunder are calling me up, I'm not answering that phone because I'm gonna get fleeced. I mean, their GM is running. I would say he's doing better than like Howie Roseman on the Eagles at like his peak right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I think Sam Presti is the greatest GM of all time, without a doubt.
Yeah. It's just like they're so set up to excel in the future, whether it is spending those first round picks on like young players that they can get in, or whether it's trading them to get not even necessarily superstars, but you trade a solid first round pick for a couple depth pieces, and you're looking just completely stocked up to run back another championship.
No,
Um,
absolutely. I
and
agree.
they don't really have any glaring holes on their roster. I'd say their weakest position right now is probably like the point guard, but it's not like they can't play
I mean, you
SGA
got
there. It's
Shea.
not like they don't have Jared McCain who can play the point. It's like maybe you want to have someone a little bit more solid there just so you can slide, SGA down to the 2, slide Lou Dort down to the 3, and it just kind of rounds out your lineup a little bit better. But
Dort
they
did
just
just get traded though for pick. I don't know if you saw.
oh
He
my
did
gosh,
get
I
traded
did
for
see that. I
picks.
was talking about that. I like got to be locked in. Who'd he go to?
Atlanta again. They traded another player to Atlanta.
That's right.
3 picks, and then Zach Shea, number 1 pick from the 2024 draft, got sent to Dallas
Okay.
for as like a throw-in for like I guess they helped facilitate it. I'm not really sure, but
Yeah.
OKC got 3 seconds.
Wow. Though I feel like 3 seconds for your defensive player, not defensive player of the year, but for your first team all defense
Right.
player is like
Yeah,
not on.
I agree, but in this situation, the Thunder had to dump salary, and Lou Dort really did kind of fall off in the conference finals. So
Yeah.
I wish that teams would have been like, no, you got to pay us to dump your salary. But I mean, these players are just so valuable. GMs will be like, they'll do anything to get them, even if it means giving the big bad monster of the West even more picks to play with.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I'm a little worried about them with second round picks because you talk about depth pieces. The second round is where you find those.
Hmm.
But it'll probably be fine.
Yeah, I mean, and then seconds make first if you trade them, right? I mean,
Yeah.
teams will give you, oh, I'll give you this player and 2 seconds for this player in a first,
Yeah.
this worst player in a first. Yeah, I mean, they could definitely flip assets, in their direction.
Yeah. But Keldon Johnson, great 6 man of the year season, and I want to jump and I want to throw out some early predictions for 6 man of the year this season. And I want to kick things off. I don't know what kind of take this is, but to be honest, I'm a Pelicans fan. And I'll say that I've come to like terms with that this offseason. Like I do love the 76ers too, because I'm in Philly, but like I'm low key a Pelicans fan. And I think Jeremiah Fears has the potential to be like a shoo-in for 6 man of the year. He has the talent to be a starter in
Shooting
the
is a
NBA.
powerful word.
No, but like he showed it last season. He averaged 14 3 as a rookie. And I think that's with like not much help on the Pelicans, Like Zion Williamson was injured. They do have a good bench, but I think especially his most notable stat is at the end of the season he had a 3-game tear. He went 46-5 against the Jazz, 36-6-3 against the Celtics, and 36-5-10 rebounds to end the season against the Timberwolves. Like when he's healthy, he's got superstar potential. And the only reason he's not starting is because I think the Pelicans do have a really good guard combo in DeJounte Murray and Trey Murphy, And I mean, another guy in the Pelicans, Derek Queen, is a great guy who's running out there with Jeremiah Fears in those bench rotations. And I think they're a very deep team. Like, I think the guys that Fears is playing with aren't so bad that it's going to hold him back when he's getting those bench minutes. I think Herbert Jones is really solid, especially defensively. I think he's a great player. I
Absolutely.
really like Yves Missi. I think he's athletic. I think he chases the boards really well. And I mean, Jordan Poole at the 2, I think he could start on a lot of teams. I think, he's not the player that he used to be with the Warriors, for sure. But I think he still shows flashes of greatness. Like, he's not a bad player to have coming off the bench. You're not mad that Jordan Poole is your backup too. And I do think the Pelicans have the tools to be a good team. And I think that if these, young guys can really take the next step, we'll see them contend. And in turn, we'll see, Jeremiah Fears in conversation for things like 6 man of the year.
Yeah, I agree. I like Jeremiah Fears. I think the Pelicans right now, they're probably the worst team in the league by far. They've done nothing this offseason except for re-sign. What's his name?
DeAndre Jordan.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. So, I mean, I could see Jeremiah Fears starting. Honestly, I could see him starting because you have Trey Murphy. You could bump him down. Start like Trey Murphy, Zion, Derek Queen, Jeremiah Fears, and probably start for your two guard, either Poole or bump up Jones or Murphy. You could do something there, but
Yeah. Well, you're starting DeJounte Murray at the one step for sure, right?
yeah, I'm trying to find him. Oh yeah, yeah,
He
yeah.
they don't have a terrible starting five. I think they're
Oh yeah,
struggling.
he was just hurt a
Staying
ton. I'm looking at these stats. Yeah, he was just hurt a ton.
Yeah. Say because DeJounte Murray is good. Trey Murphy is, I think, like easily the best player on that team. Zion Williamson is like his whole own other deal. If Zion
Right.
Williamson is playing well, the Pelicans are a threat. If he comes back and he is injured and when he's on the court, he's, out of shape and he's not putting up meaningful minutes, I think they are going to be a very bad team. But then like outside of him, DeAndre Jordan is a very solid center. He's a little bit old, but you have the depth there with, Karlo Matkovic, who's a good 3-and-D guy, and Derek Queen can slide down and play the 5. And like I just said, Yves Missi is a solid guy.
Yeah.
Made second team rookie or second team like all rookie team his last season,
Rookie,
the season
yeah,
before
yeah.
this one.
Right.
And I think the weakest point on their roster right now really is that 3 spot. And you are absolutely right. They could probably just slide Trey Murphy down there and then run, Jeremiah Fears at the 2 and have a pretty scary offensive starting lineup. And then it's just, do you have the guys that can play defense? And I think the answer is, DeJounte Murray can, Herbert Jones can come in and play some defense for you. But it's just, can you get Zion to be, a court, an end-to-end player, play like athletically with energy on defense? Can Jeremiah Fears put up meaningful defensive minutes? He's a little bit undersized for a guard.
Yeah.
But I think they're going to be an interesting team to watch, or they have the potential to be an interesting team to watch because they're very young.
No, absolutely. I think it's going to be a super fun team to watch. I hope they grow because I think New Orleans is a little bit, they're kind of running like a pelican with its head chopped off right now.
Yeah.
But I think once they get some direction, they have good pieces. I don't know if together if they're that good, but I think give them time, they may figure it out because they're gonna have to fight not to be the last seed. But also, we got to take into account last year didn't mean anything to them. They didn't have their pick. They traded it to Atlanta for Derek Queen,
and they were injured the whole season, so it wasn't even like they had any reason to try and like contend. Like that was just a garbage year.
Right. So hopefully this year, they'll be better. I'm rooting for them. I like the Pelicans. So another 6th man of the year candidate, Dylan Harper, Rutgers alum. I think arguably this is kind of a stretch. He was objectively the best rookie out of his class. Not the rookie of the year, but he was the best rookie.
In terms of I think you can make that argument because he played so well in the playoffs. Yeah.
Right, but he was playing like an NBA player when Cooper Flagg might not have been, when Knippel might not have been, or like even VJ Edgecombe and Ace Bailey. I mean, they are not even close to those two. But
though VJ Edgecombe was
Harper
balling against the Celtics.
That is true, and I love to see that. Love to see that from anybody. But Dylan Harper, he was great in the playoffs. I mean, he took this Spurs team when Fox was trash. He took this Spurs team to the finals, and you could say Fox was injured, but still, I mean, I think he was awesome.
Yeah,
and I think he could start.
Yeah, I think he for sure could start. I think the only thing is De'Aaron Fox just has a huge contract, and so the Spurs want to try and he's not tradable on this contract, and so they want to try and get their value out of him. But I think it's not crazy to say that Dylan Harper was the second best player in that playoff run for the Spurs coming off the bench, behind only Victor Wembanyama. I think there's an argument to be made for, a Stephon Castle or maybe not Devin Vassell. He was like fine. He was kind of whatever. But, I think behind Victor Wembanyama, it's not crazy to say Dylan Harper was the second biggest contributor in that run with the minutes he had.
Yeah. No, I agree. I think that's totally fair to say. I think, personally, if it was up to me, if it was purely coaching, forgetting about, like, the locker room, I would start Dylan Harper, bench Fox, but obviously because of, like, the salary of it all, you kind of have to have Fox play. Hope he can do as best as he can, so you can maybe eventually find someone to take that contract. But yeah,
Yeah, and I do think De'Aaron Fox is still a good player. Like I think
oh,
you
yeah.
you make one mistake and it's kind of hard because you get all that backlash, and especially when it is in the championship game, like that's all anyone's going to talk about all off season when your name's brought up.
Right.
But I do still think De'Aaron Fox is a baller. I think he is a starter in the NBA, and I think he's gonna like come out next season and try to make up for that mistake.
So another candidate for sixth man of the year that I really like is from another Western Conference Finals team, the Thunder. I think AJ Mitchell is, in my opinion, if I was betting right now, I would bet AJ Mitchell to win this award because I think the Spurs bench is too deep, but I think the Thunder bench is just deep enough where AJ Mitchell could pop off. Did he win Most Improved? If he didn't win Most Improved, that's crazy because he was so good. Fifth place sixth man of the year. He did not win MIP though. He like went from going to get like, sorry, I'm looking for the points. Yeah, 6.5 points to 13.6 points. I mean, he's just like, that alone is really good, but he's just fast moving. He's hard to guard. He was cooking the Lakers in that playoff series, unfortunately. But I mean, he's just such a good player. And the best part of all, let's open Spot Track real quick. His contract is like dirt cheap. I think he was drafted in the second round, so he's only making $2.8 million. That's so cheap. That's like cheaper than almost any other player in the league. He probably has the best value on his contract. If like what I was saying earlier, value is so important. And next year they have a team option too before he becomes an unrestricted free agent.
Yeah.
But yeah, if I'm betting, I would pick him.
Yeah, I don't think that's ridiculous to say. I think the only thing that does hold him back is, like you said, the Thunder bench. It's not necessarily too deep like the Spurs, but there are just a lot of great players coming off the bench. But yeah, I think AJ Mitchell is for sure like a front runner for that award when we're talking about it. I think another guy that you look at that is kind of a front runner is Landry Shamet, who kind of broke out for the Knicks this last year. He averaged about 10 points a game off the bench, and that earned him a 4-year, $24 million contract extension. Also, recently engaged, so shout out that. Congratulations, Landry Shamet.
Congrats to him.
But if he can continue to take, that next step, like he improved from the season before to this previous season, if he can take like one more step forward, it doesn't even need to be a big one because he was already playing well. He's for sure going to be in that conversation come awards season for sixth man of the year.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, I think he's a great piece for the Knicks. I think they did the right thing by bringing him back. I wish they also brought Mitchell Robinson back, and we'll get to him. But I think that without Landry Shamet, you don't win this championship. Everybody's contribution counted.
Yeah, it was like one of the most beautiful championship runs to watch. Like,
oh yeah.
And I know you predicted this. We can talk about this now. You had the Knicks.
Yes,
winning.
We can. Oh my God, yes. I called it. Okay, I didn't get the Spurs going all the way, but I called it being
between us.
The
we
Knicks
had the final
winning the East. If we take the best of both worlds, we had the finals down. Nobody said it would be the Knicks. They said, "Oh, it's gonna be the Celtics. Oh, it's gonna be the Pistons." No, it's the Knicks. Always been the Knicks.
Yeah, and I was on that Celtics train, and then they got first rounded.
First rounded by the Sixers.
By the 76ers.
That was a great day when the Celtics lost Game 7 on a Friday night. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that.
And Jaylen Brown's a 76er now, dude. That's gonna
and
be so
they
awesome.
took Jaylen Brown, dude. They took the Celtics bag too. I mean,
great time to be a Sixers
fan. I'm so excited
fan.
for the Sixers team. Oh, absolutely. I think they get a new GM. Old one's gone. First things first, you re-sign or you get a ton of new players. Jaylen Brown, you get
LeBron
Dean
James.
Wade, potentially the GOAT. Like that would be crazy. We'll have to get to that another time, but the GOAT potentially be living in Philadelphia. Maybe he'll live on. Maybe he'll be in 1940.
Maybe he'll hop on an episode of Sideline View.
If he goes to Philly, the chances of him doing that are like
way higher.
They go from like 0.1 to like 0.2.
Yeah, they double.
That's the main thing here. Percent change,
Yeah, but I guess it would be hard. Like, could we have even if he wanted to come on the podcast, he's not a backup. So is that cool? Could we do that? Like
You know
we might
what
have to
though?
turn down LeBron James.
He came off the bench twice. We could talk to him about that.
Yeah.
So that could work.
Yeah. Where do you think LeBron's gonna end up?
Okay. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out. Hold on. Hold on. I think there's a chance. Just maybe, he says. Hold on. I think the best landing spot, objectively, Lakers fandom aside, is the Lakers. And let me explain. Let me explain. Let's look at the depth chart, all right? All right, so you got point guard, Luka Doncic, right? You got shooting guard, Austin Reeves. You have 3 guard or small forward, however you want to put him, Quentin Grimes. Center, Walker Kessler. Power forward, there's no power forward. There's no starting power forward on this roster.
That's true.
So you would either have to trade for somebody. That's what they're trying to do with Jonathan Kuminga, or you start somebody who really shouldn't be a starter, like Jake LaRavia, like Sandro Mamukelashvili, like Zaire Williams, and that's just not good. If only there was a tall, athletic, not cone defensively forward, who has family in LA, has lived in LA for the past 8 years. I'm just saying, I think LeBron's best landing spot is LA. It's never going to happen.
It's not going to happen.
But his best landing spot is LA. If you look at Miami, the paint is going to be so crowded. You have Bam Adebayo, second greatest scorer of all time, and Giannis.
He's not going to Miami.
He's not going to Miami.
It was just
Cleveland. Okay. If you, I would personally, of the 4 realistic options between like Golden State, Philadelphia, Miami, and Cleveland, I'd like to see him go to Cleveland. I think that's the most likely too. But if you look at the roster, you have Donovan Mitchell, okay, James Harden, okay.
Well, James Harden
then
is his contract's up, so they might not bring him back.
Yeah,
right?
but he's planning on re-signing. I've heard
Okay,
it's almost to give him. Then you need LeBron at 3 because you have Evan Mobley at the 4 and Jared Allen at the 5. LeBron is 41 going on 42. He's not going to be able to chase down threes like he used to be able to do. So you would have LeBron is so much right now a 4 that it would be really a problem putting him at that 3 spot because the other option,
Evan Mobley to the 3.
You could, but Evan Mobley's like a big dude,
yeah.
And I don't think he's more adept to guard bigger players versus smaller players. So I'm sure that the Cavs coaching could figure it out, but as of right now, I don't love LeBron as that 3. And then you also look at Philadelphia. Philadelphia, I think, is also basketball-wise, besides LA, the best spot he could go to because that's also Philly's biggest weakness. But then I just don't know if the fit with so many ball-dominant players because you have Embiid likes the ball, Maxey likes the ball, Brown likes the ball, VJ Edgecombe, okay, he's more of an off-ball dude. And then you're trying to add in LeBron. And LeBron can be that off-ball guy, as we saw in March of last year when he really transitioned to being the 3rd option in Los Angeles.
That's what
I think it's going to be a little clunky. And the Warriors are just bad, and I don't think LeBron would be able to contend there.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think the Warriors, it just, I don't think it's going to happen because I think the only reason, if he goes to the Warriors, the only reason he's going to the Warriors is because he wants to stay in California. And it's it's like a family choice, right? It's like, I don't want to uproot, if he has kids in school or.
Yeah, I mean, he still has Zuri in school. And then you got Bronny, and Bronny's still on the Lakers. I hope he stays on the Lakers. I don't want them to trade Bronny unless they get actual value.
Yeah, no, I mean, I think he's got a lot of potential. He's got upside. Right. And, even if he's not a starter yet, he's definitely a solid,
he could be a rotation guy. Yeah.
But I do think with the Sixers, I don't think LeBron James would have any problem being an off-ball player, especially at the age of, 41, 42. How old is he now?
Right. He's 41. He turns 42 in December.
Yeah. At that age, I think this is the time for him to kind of transition to be more of an off-ball player. Maybe even work on some 3-and-D kind of style. Because, he doesn't have the athleticism he had to be, the main guy on a team anymore. He doesn't have the athleticism to be, doing the stuff that he was doing in his prime. But I think he's still got the basketball IQ and the experience that he needs. And I think he could put up crazy assist numbers with the Sixers. He could average 10 assists a game so easily with Maxey and Jaylen Brown and Embiid to pass out to. And Edgecombe, that's just a crazy lineup,
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree.
LeBron dishing, he could run the offense, damn near. I don't think it's ridiculous to say that.
No, I think that LeBron in Philly, basketball wise, best option. Story wise, it's Cleveland, and I think that Golden State, Miami, completely out of the picture. I could be wrong. Could be the second we get off the phone, Shams tweets LeBron James is going to Miami or Golden State, but I think fit wise, he needs to go to Philadelphia. But like legacy wise, the Cavs.
Yeah, I mean, legacy
Also,
wise, it
I
wouldn't be
want more
terrible to go
LeBron
to
jerseys.
Philadelphia and chase a ring there too, because that
True.
is, you talk about he's played in a lot of the great sports cities. He's played for the Lakers in Los Angeles. He's played for the Heat
Yeah.
in Miami. I don't know that
Yeah.
I'd throw Cleveland as a great sports city. Maybe
Oh,
historic.
he built that house.
He did build that house. He did build that house. But
Built
now
that house.
Philly, it's like you got to go prove you can win in. Well, not prove you can win in the Eastern Conference. He's done that. But that's
Right.
like that is if you're not going to New York, Philadelphia, in my opinion, like sports is like what that city lives and breathes and dies on.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
like I think, especially if you're LeBron James, just having the support of that fan base for the rest of your life because you played there for a year would be like kind of
Right.
awesome.
Right. No, I agree. I'm looking forward to seeing this decision. The second, I'm telling you, the day he announces that decision, I'm buying that jersey. Shout out DH Gate. But going back, we lost track there for a second.
We did lose track.
So another 6-man candidate that I like, stick it with my Lakers because that's really where I've spent most of my time like looking into them. Colin Sexton, he was on Utah. I think he might have been on the Hornets last year. He was all over the place. But let me just pull up his stats real quick. Yeah, he was on the Hornets last year, but he's this really active, switchy guard, and I think that he's going to be great coming off of the bench. He is a great bench piece. If you have him starting, awesome. That athleticism, that drive. I saw somewhere that when he was in Utah, the training and conditioning teams had to tell him to go sit in the pool for 30 minutes because he wouldn't just like relax. He was that like hyped up. And I think that energy is great, especially when you have like Luka and Austin Reeves. They are awesome. They are like magical players who can do things that just like leave your jaw dropped. But like having somebody who's just like bang, 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 like that's what you need. And
Scrappy, hardworking, sneaky, athletic, first one in, last one out mentality.
Exactly, and that's what this team needs, especially when you lose Marcus Smart, you lose like you lose LeBron James, you lose some of the energy guys in the locker room. Having somebody who's just super hyped up all the time, perfect. And I think he'll also fit great in mentoring the other two super athletic rookies that they have, rookie and sophomore with a Thero. But
I mean, I think this
candidate.
Lakers team has done as great of a job as they can holding on to a roster that's going to contend with the resources that they have. Like it was a rough offseason, heading in for the Lakers.
Absolutely.
Obviously, you still have Luka and AR no matter what, but
Can't be
you
that
lose
bad.
LeBron. You're paying these guys kind of a lot of money, so you don't really have a ton of cap space to work with. And I think they're doing a good job of trotting out a team that is still going to contend next season.
No, yeah, I agree. I'm really looking forward to it. October, we have to wait all the way till October for more basketball, which is very sad. But that's also only like 2.5 months, so it's not
terrible.
too bad. Not as bad as football can be. February to September. I mean, that's pretty bad.
I'm ready for the NFL to be back. I'm ready. There's not. Then we haven't talked about it much today. We'll get to it at the end. There's not a ton of NFL news because it's just dead. Like the draft kind of came and went, and I don't have a lot to talk about off the draft. Like there's not a lot of the guys that are. We haven't been in training camp yet. I'm ready to start hearing those talks about like who's going to continue to start. I'm ready for preseason, but it's still going to be a minute till we get those.
Yeah, no. But we got some news here. Let's see. Kobe Bryant.
Bryant
signs to the Bears for 3 years, $40 million. He was with the Seahawks last year. That's another player the Seahawks have lost. That's big. I don't think the Seahawks are going back to back. I think that's completely out of the question in my opinion. The NFC West is too good.
Like Kobe Bryant, not the biggest loss for them. He kind of he played well for them in the minutes he had, but you talk about a Seahawks secondary that had they lost Reek Woolen, that's awful, but they have Devin Witherspoon, they have Nick Amenwore and Julian Love back at safety, and safety is Kobe Bryant's listed position, and I think he played a good deal of slot corner for them. But I imagine where the Bears are going to play him is at safety because they lost Kevin Byard and Jaquan Brisker. And
Yeah.
I think 3 years, 40 million isn't ridiculous. He had 7 pass breakups, 4 interceptions, and 66 tackles playing limited snaps with the Seahawks. So I think he is a guy that could excel in a starting role, but I also think he's a guy where, the Seahawks aren't losing a ton with him because
Mhm.
he didn't really see a significant role with, you know?
Yeah, and I think also though on offense, the loss of Kenneth Walker to the Chiefs that really hurts too. Because
That's
I
gonna be
mean,
a lot bigger.
reigning Super Bowl MVP off your team, and obviously the Seahawks do have a solid running back room, but losing your first guy, that sucks. No other way
Yeah.
to put it.
No, I mean they will have Zach Charbonnet. They
That's
drafted
insane.
Jadarian Price in the first round out of Notre Dame.
Right.
And he's expected to be the immediate starter, actually. So it'll be interesting to follow that kind of battle between him and Sharp, especially with Sharp coming off an injury.
Yeah.
But I do think of all the positions to lose, you want it to be running back because not to hop on this train that we were on a couple of years ago where it was like running backs have no value like whatsoever. But we've seen so many teams grab running backs in late rounds. Look at the Chiefs getting Isaiah Pacheco in the 7th. If you
Yeah.
go way back, the Jaguars had James Robinson, who was a very solid and productive starter for them for 3 to 4 years, and he was an undrafted free agent. The Eagles have solid backups in like Tank Bigsby, in Will Shipley to Saquon, and they didn't really have to spend a ton to get those guys. Like I just think not it's easy to find a running back necessarily, but I think like of all the positions, you can kind of throw a guy that's maybe below average out at running back. And if you have a good offensive line, if you have a good system in place and good blocking schemes, and especially if you have a running back that can kind of understand the game and find holes and find lanes, you don't necessarily need to have that like superstar kind of caliber running back to be able to go
Yeah.
contend and win games.
No, I agree. I agree. I think though the NFC West minus the Cardinals, it's just so crazy. I mean, because you got Miles Garrett,
Yeah.
coming to
Aaron
the
Donald soon.
Rams. Is he? So what's you tell me? What's the situation on Aaron Donald?
The last thing I heard with him was he was like working. He had an off-season workout at the Rams facility, and people were kind of going crazy about that. But I also, and he said he'd be willing. Like I think he said he has thought about it returning. Like it is something that
Mm.
definitely might happen, but until we hear something of like for sure from Aaron Donald, I'm not assuming he's coming back because people just like this was always going to be a topic of conversation after Miles Garrett went to the Rams because he's just
Mm.
like they're like 1 and 2. They were 1 and 2 and they would switch places for so long.
Right.
And so it's like the idea of that defensive line is so alluring that you have to talk about it. Like Aaron Donald and Miles Garrett on
Yeah.
the same defensive line would be ridiculous. And
Yeah.
I would love to see it happen. As a fan of the
I
Eagles,
would.
like I just think it'd be sick to get to see those two players play together. You got to play them twice a year.
Okay.
I think I only got to play them like once.
It would be
Play them
cool.
once, hope someone
It
else
would
knocks them
be
out of the
cool.
playoffs.
Yeah. I don't think that. Okay, here's the thing about the Rams. I don't think that they're going to be as good as people think they are going to be.
I don't know.
But
It's
they're
tough 'cause
still
I
gonna
think
be
Matthew
great.
Stafford
That
coming
could
off
be
of a
Cope, what I'm
career
saying.
high season. They still have Devontae Adams. They still have Puka Nakua. I mean, they really
On
haven't
paper,
lost
they're
any.
great. On
Like
paper, they're great.
I think the only issue is they are just getting older.
That
You know,
I
Matthew
think that's the
Stafford is
thing.
getting
How old is
old.
Matthew
Devontae
Stafford?
Adams is getting old. Miles Garrett, Aaron Donald already. I mean, Miles Garrett just had the best season of his career, but
Right. Aaron Donald's. I mean, he's on the verge of retirement. So,
yeah.
but maybe it's just Cope, and the Rams will hoist another Lombardi.
But I
But
wouldn't be mad at that. That'd be a great way for Matthew Stafford to go out. I'd love to see him get another ring.
yeah,
I
it
think
would
he's a great
It would
player.
be.
His whole career, I love the Lions. His whole career was wasted on the Lions. And so it'd make me happy to see him win another ring. So like, I mean, he is a Hall of Famer for sure now with the MVP, with the Super Bowl that he's won. But
Yeah.
like, just to really solidify his legacy, I think it'd be awesome.
It would be. I just hope that come week 1 in Australia, the Rams players don't destroy all the Niners players in the first like 7 snaps. That's all.
Well, you won't be near the the
That's true. They'll
electrical.
be away from the evil. Well, maybe they'll get superpowers once they get zapped enough. And like
The superpowers
Brock
are just
Purdy's
really
gonna
weak
have like
ACLs.
5 arms.
Yeah,
The superpowers is that the ACL just becomes butter.
yeah,
But,
pretty much. It just
Yeah.
melts off the bone
It
like
just
a really
looks
good
sweet.
brisket.
You know, what's that video? It's like tenderism. It's some like random LA brisket place with the steak.
I've seen
literally
that.
just
I've
full-
seen that.
Yeah, that's 49ers.
And they
players.
just shake the bone and it all falls off.
Yeah.
That's Christian McCaffrey's ACL next season. If they don't
Even
fix
put that into.
they're
Don't
close.
even put that into reality, dude.
He was the
can't-
only one
I
healthy
can't.
last year. I'm just saying it's gonna catch up to
It's
him.
even year 49ers, which means they're gonna be bad. But that's the conspiracy. I just hope the Cowboys suck too. Shout out my friend.
Yeah.
Drew.
A few other NFL signings on here. Moving on from Kobe Bryant, not the NBA one. Should have clarified that.
Yeah, Kobe Bryant is not on the Bears.
He's not. He didn't
That
come
would
back
be
from
pretty
that
cool.
helicopter crash to play for the Bears.
No. Yeah.
Another one I want to talk about: the Titans. Shout out Tennessee signed Wan'Dale Robinson to a 4-year, $78 million contract. Only $38 million of which is guaranteed. The Titans, famously, wide receiver hell. It's where old, washed wide receivers go to die and never do anything ever again. Shout out DeAndre Hopkins. Shout out Calvin Ridley. Shout out Julio Jones. Shout out Julio Jones.
Yeah.
But I do like this signing for the Titans because it's not an overpay. $38 million guaranteed isn't ridiculous. That $78 million is gonna be worth it if he's playing up to the level where like he's getting the incentives that he needs. And I think Wan'Dale Robinson is a very solid wide receiver. Like I don't think he's a wide receiver 1 on any teams. I think there's some teams he maybe isn't a wide receiver 2 on. I think he's a wide receiver 2 in Tennessee behind Calvin Ridley. But I think he's a great guy in the slot. I think he's good at getting open. He can catch the ball. And Cam Ward just needs guys to throw to. Like
Yeah.
when you're the Tennessee Titans right now, you just need to go out and sign whoever, to be honest. And I think Wan'Dale's a great signing. I like that it's not an overpay. And I think this sets them up very well. They also signed Cordell Flott, and I like that. They need more cornerback depth. And former MVP Mitchell Trubisky, shout out. He's not going to do much, but that's a fun little backup for him. And,
Yeah.
that brings in a veteran guy with playoff experience who can, not necessarily mentor Cam Ward because Cam Ward's kind of just the better player there, I'd imagine. But it's someone with NFL experience that can kind of impart some wisdom on this younger guy and help him develop.
I'm excited to see how Robert Saleh handles this. He's new head coach. I think that the Titans defense will really benefit from having a defensive-minded head coach, but also
Yeah.
their offense needs like some TLC, and
Yeah.
maybe they got what they needed, but I don't know. I don't see the Titans winning more than like 4 games this year still.
Yeah, I think the only thing that maybe helps them, really work offensively is Brian Dable. I think this is where we will see if it was a problem with the Giants or if it was a problem with Brian Dable, because I think he is a great offensive mind, and we saw that he had Jackson Dart working. We saw his first season, he had Daniel Jones working, and I think Cam Ward is better than both of those players. And if he can really get the most out of him, I think this Titans team isn't going to be scary, but I think they're going to contend.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to seeing it.
And then the last NFL move I have, kind of the biggest one, Odafe Owe, a great rotational pass rusher for the Chargers last season. He had 7.5 sacks in 12 games played, is signing to the Commanders for
That'll
4
be fun.
years, $96 million, $68 million guaranteed. I think it's a little bit expensive, but I also do really like Odafe Owe. He's a little bit older. Like he's not super young. He's still in his 20s, but I think he's in that like 27, 28 range where you're gonna start seeing some regression within the next few years, but they kind of have him for his prime right now. And I think if they can get the most out of him as a pass rusher, this is a great signing. I think this is like when the Eagles signed Bryce Huff from the Jets after Bryce Huff had a 10-sack season. And it's really just a question of, can Odafe Owe transition from being that rotational pass rusher where you just come in and you're fresh and you take the quarterback's head off, to being an every down player for the Commanders and being able to run stuff and being able to have the stamina to put up meaningful pass rush snaps even when you're out on the field for like a long drive. And I think that's going to be the big question with him, because we know he can get after the quarterback. It's just, is he going to be able to do that now in a larger role? And I think with this opportunity, I think he's going to make the most of it. Like, I think this is going to be a good signing for the Commanders. And this really builds, the Commanders are a team that has the potential to be very scary. They were in the NFC Championship 2 years ago, and they're not far off from getting back with just a little bit of better coaching. And I think they've made moves over these last 2 seasons to fill out their roster, and they just need to stay healthy now.
Yeah, I mean, the NFC East is just so good. The only thing here's my NFC East ranking. I still think the Eagles will win it. Then I say Commanders, Cowboys, Giants. Now, here's the thing. Here's why I put the Giants so low. I'm low on the Giants. Malik Neighbors' knee is the tenderism knee. Falls right off the bone.
He might not even be ready to play
That's
opening
that's what I'm saying. I don't think he's going to be playing week 1, and I don't think that they're going to have time in training camp to build some kind of good connection here, because by the time Malik Neighbors goes down, Jackson Dart's played 2 games. I mean,
yeah.
I just don't see it. I don't believe in the Giants. I think I like the coaching decisions that they have with I'm blanking on his name, John. Who's the Giants head coach?
The Giants head coach. That's a great question.
John
Harbaugh.
I should know.
John duh. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew he was from the Ravens. But I like that decision. I just think maybe next year, hopefully Malik Neighbors can walk again. Hopefully Cam Scatabo stops backflipping on live stream. But I just think that this team isn't ready to play serious football. And I think
you look at their wide receiver room.
Bounce back here.
Yeah, their wide receiver room just isn't anywhere.
They got Odell Beckham, though.
I was just going to say, they have Odell Beckham. They have the corpse of Odell Beckham. They have Jalen Hyatt, who got drafted in the 2nd round and then never did anything productive for them ever. They have Darius Slayton, who's, whatever. He's like the wide receiver too. He's just okay. They have Darnell Mooney, money with 2 O's. He's not bad. But then it's you're throwing out, if Malik Neighbors isn't healthy, either Odell Beckham Jr. or you're putting out Calvin Austin III or Juju Smith-Schuster. I think something they could do is run a 2 tight end set, which John Harbaugh liked to do with Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely in Baltimore. And I think they already have one piece of that puzzle in Isaiah Likely. And honestly, I think the second piece is Theo Johnson, who played really well last season. We talked about him on the podcast. Theo Johnson was a great tight end. I had him in fantasy football. He put up some great numbers. Penn State alum. He's going into his 3rd year now. With a solid 2 tight end set, I think it wouldn't be the worst thing for Jackson Dart to have those 2 security blankets. But it's really just going to come down to, is Jackson Dart able to take that next step and continue to play at a high level? And can their receivers step up? Can someone step up in the receiver room and fill the shoes of Malik Neighbors?
Yeah. No, I think they're going to need some people to play way above their role if they want to have any chance of, serious football. But yeah. All right.
That's all I have for the NFL.
That's all I have, too.
So this is a great little episode. Nice little hour for you guys. But yeah, thank you so much, Bench Nation. Maybe we'll be back with some more summer episodes. I do want to get some more clips out of this. We got the video up there. So look for some stuff on social media.
Like it up.
At Sideline View. Is it at Sideline View Podcast? It's at Sideline View or at Sideline View Podcast. I don't know.
I don't think we were able to get at Sideline View. I think we got at Sideline View Podcast. Let me check.
Let's see. It's Sideline View Podcast.
It's not, Sideline View Podcast.
Sideline View Podcast on Instagram. Drop a follow, like all of the posts, repost them, John.
Tell your grandma, tell your grandpa, tell your dad, tell your mom, tell your dog.
Send it to all your friends that watch sports and the ones that don't. Maybe they'll get into it.
Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But hey, a view is a view.
Yeah, thank you so much, Bench Nation, for listening, and we will catch you next time.